The parking garage smelled of motor oil and defeat. Olivia Carter sat in her car, engine off, forehead pressed against the cold steering wheel. Fluorescent lights flickered overhead, casting shadows that felt like judgment. Her phone buzzed again. Seventh missed call from her supervisor. She grabbed it and hurled it onto the passenger seat. 3 weeks. 3 weeks under Devon Lancaster's reign as CEO, and she was already planning her escape. Today he'd dismissed her campaign without even looking at the full presentation. Jess waved his hand like she was a fly buzzing around his expensive suit. She needed Rachel. Needed her best friend to tell her she wasn't crazy for wanting to quit. Her trembling fingers scrolled through contacts in the dim light. She pressed call. 2 rings. "Rachel, you have no idea what kind of day I just survived." The words exploded out of her. "I'm so done. Completely and utterly done with this place." Silence. "Rachel." "This is not Rachel." The man's voice, deep, unmistakable. Olivia's stomach turned to ice. "Who is this?" She whispered, though she already knew. "That's an interesting question, considering you called me." There was amusement in his tone. Dark amusement. "Perhaps you should check who you dialed before launching into such a passionate monologue." The parking garage tilted. "Mr. Lancaster." Her voice cracked on his name. "Indeed. Please don't let me interrupt. You were about to tell me about your terrible day? I find myself quite interested." Panic flooded her veins. What had she said? How much had he heard? "I apologize. This was a mistake. It won't happen again. Are you certain?" His voice changed. Something dangerous lurked beneath the professional veneer. "Because from what I heard, you were absolutely done." "I'd like to know with what specifically." She squeezed her eyes shut. The concrete floor refused to swallow her. It was a misunderstanding. "Mr. Lancaster, I sincerely apologize for disturbing your evening." A pause stretched between them like a wire pulled too tight. "How unfortunate." His voice dropped lower. "And here I thought you might finally be honest with me." The line went dead. Olivia sat frozen, phone still pressed to her ear. Her career dissolving in the silence. Devon Lancaster was a legend, ruthless, exacting. He'd fired 5 people in his first month, and she'd just called him to complain about him. Her hands shook as she dialed again. "The right number this time?" "Rachel, I'm finished. Completely finished." "What happened?" "I called Lancaster instead of you. Told him I was done with everything. I thought he was you." Rachel's whistle was low and grim. "What did he say?" "He wanted to know what I was done with. Then he said something about wishing I'd be honest with him." Olivia started the car, needing to move, to escape. "I might as well update my resume tonight. Maybe it's not as bad as you think. That's not comforting." She pulled out of the space, tires squealing. "He mentioned a meeting tomorrow. 8 a.m. We have a lot to discuss, apparently." We drove home through empty streets. Already mourning the career she'd worked so hard to build. The next morning came too fast. Olivia, dressed in her sharpest navy suit, pulled her blonde hair into a severe bun. If she was going down, she'd go down looking professional. She arrived at 7:30. The conference room was already lit. Devon Lancaster stood inside, reviewing documents. No suit jacket. Just a white shirt with sleeves rolled up, exposing forearms that shouldn't have made her notice them. He looked younger, almost human. "Good morning, Olivia." He didn't look up. "You're early." "I appreciate punctuality." "Good morning, Mr. Lancaster." She stepped inside, gripping her portfolio like a shield. "About our phone conversation last night, ... He looked up. His dark eyes locked onto hers with an intensity that stole her breath. "I reviewed your proposal. The one I dismissed yesterday." Her heart hammered against her ribs. "It's exceptional." The words didn't make sense. "Excuse me?" "Innovative, bold, exactly what the client needs." He slid the document toward her. "I was wrong to reject it without a thorough review." The room spun. "I sometimes reject ideas initially," he continued, leaning against the table, "to see how strongly people believe in their work. Most people accept my decision without question." His eyes burned into hers. You called me in the middle of the night to express your frustration, even if accidentally. That shows conviction? So you're not firing me? A smile ghosted across his face, transforming his stern features into something almost beautiful. Fire you for having opinions and passion about your work. That would be foolish. Pushed off the table, moving closer. I want you to present this campaign directly to the client, and I want you working more closely with the executive team. The air between them crackled. Your perspective is valuable, Olivia, even when delivered through misdirected phone calls. She couldn't breathe, couldn't think. Everything she'd assumed about him, about this meeting, about her future, had just shattered. There's something you should know, he said, his voice dropping to barely above a whisper. Something about why I really called this meeting. He stepped closer, close enough that she could smell cedar and smoke on him. The phone call wasn't a mistake. Not for me. Her pulse thundered in her ears. What do you mean? His eyes held secrets she couldn't begin to decipher. I've been waiting 3 weeks for you to stop being afraid of me, Olivia. Last night, for 2 minutes on that phone call, you weren't. The door behind them opened. Devon's assistant stepped in, oblivious to the tension thick enough to cut. Mr. Lancaster, your 9 o'clock is here. He turned away, the moment shattering like glass. We'll continue this conversation later. Be ready to present tomorrow. Don't disappoint me. Olivia walked out on shaking legs. Her entire world tilted on its axis. She'd thought the phone call had ended her career. She was starting to realize it had only just begun something far more dangerous. The client presentation was flawless. Olivia watched their faces light up as she walked them through the campaign. Every detail she'd agonized over finally appreciated. Devon sat at the head of the table, silent, his dark eyes tracking her every movement. When the clients left, gushing about innovation and partnership, the room emptied until only the two of them remained. You were brilliant. His voice cut through the silence. Thank you. She started packing up her materials. Needing something to do with her hands? Don't. He stood, moved toward her. Don't go back to being careful around me. She froze. I don't know what you mean. Yes, you do. He stopped inches away. You've been walking on eggshells for 3 weeks? Everyone has. They see the CEO who fires people and makes hard decisions. They don't see me. What do you want them to see? His jaw tightened. The truth, which is that I'm barely holding this company together. That my father built an empire on lies and I'm trying to salvage it before it collapses. That I push people away because it's easier than watching them leave when they discover who I really am. The raw honesty stole her breath. This wasn't the cold CEO from her first 3 weeks. This was someone bleeding and trying to hide it. Why are you telling me this? Because you called me by accident and said what everyone else is thinking? And instead of hating you for it, I felt relief. He turned away, hands in his pockets. Do you know how exhausting it is to be feared? Then stop making people fear you. He laughed, bitter and sharp. It's the only thing keeping this company from being torn apart by vultures. My father's former partners want control. The board wants me gone. Fear is the only leverage I have. Olivia set down her portfolio. What happened with your father? He died 6 months ago. Heart attack. Left behind a mess of questionable deals and silent partnerships with people who don't like questions. His voice went cold. I've spent every day since trying to untangle it without destroying everything he built. That's why you've been so harsh. That's why I can't afford to be anything else. He turned back to her, and the vulnerability in his eyes made her chest ache. Except with you, apparently. You make me forget to maintain distance. The confession hung between them like a lit match. Devon. His name felt forbidden on her lips. The Miami conference. He moved closer. 3 days. Away from the board, the office, all of it. Come with me, as your employee, or as something else. I don't know yet, but I want to find out. Her phone buzzed. She glanced down. A text from an unknown number. Ask him about the Whitmore account. Ask him what he's really planning. Ice flooded her veins. What's wrong? Devon noticed immediately. She showed him the text. His face went blank, then hard as granite. Who sent this? I don't know. He took her phone, studied the message. Someone's watching us. Someone who wants you to doubt me. Should I? The question came out before she could stop it. His eyes snapped to hers, hurt flashing across his features before the walls slammed back up. The Whitmore account is a cleanup job. My father promised them terms he couldn't deliver. I'm fixing his mistakes before they sue us into oblivion. He handed back her phone. But you don't have to believe me. He walked to the door. Devon, wait.
Hey.
The Miami conference is in 2 weeks. If you want answers, come with me. If you'd rather believe anonymous texts, don't. His hand rested on the door handle. Your choice, Olivia. He left. She stood alone in the conference room, staring at the message. That night, she met Rachel at their usual bar. The music was too loud, the lights too dim, but it felt safe compared to the chaos of her day. He opened up to you? Rachel's eyes were wide. He told me about his father. About the company? Rachel, he's not what everyone thinks, or he's exactly what everyone thinks, and he's playing you. Olivia's stomach twisted. You sound like that text. Rachel leaned forward. Because maybe that text is from someone trying to protect you. Devon Lancaster has a reputation for a reason. You don't know him. Neither do you. Not really. Rachel gripped her hand. Be careful. Men like him don't change. They just get better at hiding who they are. Olivia pulled away. I thought you'd understand. I understand you're falling for your boss and it's clouding your judgment. The words hit like a slap. Not falling for him. Rachel's look said she didn't believe it. Neither did Olivia. She drove home through rain that matched her mood. Her phone silent on the passenger seat. Another text came through at midnight. He's using you. The Miami trip is a setup. Trust me. She stared at the words until they blurred. The next morning, Devon's assistant handed her a first-class ticket to Miami and an itinerary for the conference. Mr. Lancaster wanted you to have this personally, the assistant said. He said to tell you the choice is still yours. Olivia held the ticket, feeling its weight. That afternoon, she knocked on Devon's office door. Come in, sat behind his desk. The city sprawling behind him through floor-to-ceiling windows. He looked tired, human, vulnerable in a way that made her want to reach out. I'm coming to Miami. Something flickered in his eyes. Relief, hope, fear. Why? Because I want to know the truth. About the company? About you. About what's happening between us? He stood, moved around the desk, and if the truth is complicated, then we'll deal with complicated. He reached out, his fingers brushing her jaw. The touch sent electricity through her skin. There are things I can't tell you yet, things that could put you in danger if you know too much. Then tell me when you can, and if I never can. She met his eyes. Then I guess we'll find out what we're really made of. His thumb traced her cheekbone. You scare me, Olivia Carter. Good. You scare me too, he smiled. Genuine and devastating. 2 weeks. Miami. Don't change your mind. She left his office knowing she'd just crossed a line she couldn't uncross. That night, another text arrived. Last warning. He's not who you think. Check his father's files. Check what really happened to the last person who got close to him. Olivia stared at her phone. Then she blocked the number. Whatever was waiting for her in Miami. Whatever truth Devon was hiding, she'd face it. She just hoped she was strong enough to survive what she'd find. The Miami heat hit like a wall. Olivia stepped out of the airport into humidity that made her silk blouse cling to her skin. Devon was already there, leaning against a black car, sunglasses hiding his eyes. You came. He sounded surprised. He said I would. People say a lot of things they don't mean. He opened the car door for her. Their fingers brushed as she slid past him. Even that brief contact sent heat racing through her blood. The hotel was oceanfront luxury. White marble, gold accents, staff who moved like shadows. Devon checked them in while Olivia pretended not to notice the clerk's assumption that they'd share a room. Separate floors, Devon said, handing her a key card. I didn't want to presume, but his eyes said he wanted to. The conference starts tomorrow at 9. Tonight is ours. He stepped closer, voice dropping. Have dinner with me. No business. Just us. Just us, she echoed. The restaurant he chose was intimate. Candlelight and ocean views, the kind of place where secrets felt safe to share. Olivia wore a black dress she'd packed on impulse. Devon's eyes darkened when he saw her. "You're trying to kill me," he murmured as they sat. "Turnabout is fair play. You rolled up your sleeves in that first meeting?" He laughed, genuine and surprised. "You noticed that?" "I notice everything about you. It's becoming a problem." Conversation flowed easier than it should have. He told her about growing up in his father's shadow, always trying to earn approval that never came. She told him about clawing her way up from nothing, building a career that felt like the only thing she could control. "Why marketing?" he asked. "Because I like fixing broken things, making them beautiful again, making people see value they'd missed." She met his eyes. "Why did you really take over the company?" His hand stilled on his wine glass. "Because my father asked me to." On his deathbed. He knew what he'd done, the deals he'd made. He wanted me to fix it before it destroyed everyone who worked for him. That's a heavy burden. It's killing me. The confession was raw. Every day I make decisions that hurt people to save the company. Fire good employees to cut costs. Reject proposals I know are brilliant because we can't afford the risk. I'm becoming him, Olivia. The thing I swore I'd never be. She reached across the table, took his hand. "You're not him. He would never have admitted what you just did." "How do you know?" "Because broken things recognize each other." His fingers tightened on hers. "What broke you?" "A man who promised me forever, then disappeared when I needed him most. Left me with debt and a reputation I spent years rebuilding." She smiled, bitter. "I don't trust easily, Devon, but I'm trying to trust you. What if I'm exactly what the anonymous texts said I was?" "Are you?" He didn't answer immediately. When he did, his voice was barely audible over the ocean waves. "There are things about me you don't know. Things I've done to protect this company that keep me awake at night. I'm not a good man, Olivia. I'm just a man trying to be less terrible than his father. It's more than most people manage." They walked along the beach after dinner. Moon on water, sand between their toes, the world reduced to just the two of them. Devon caught her hand, pulled her to a stop. "I need to tell you something. Before this goes any further." Fear flickered in her chest. "Okay, the Whitmore account. My father promised them terms by partnering with a shell company. It was money laundering. I've spent 6 months untangling it without exposing everyone involved. If it goes public, it destroys us. Who else knows?" 3 people. My lawyer, my CFO, and now you. "Why tell me?" "Because if we're doing this, if we're crossing lines and breaking rules, you deserve to know what you're getting into." His hands framed her face. "You deserve the chance to walk away." "I'm not walking away." "You should. Too bad." He kissed her then. Desperate and careful and earth-shattering all at once. She kissed him back, tasting wine and secrets and the future neither of them could predict. When they broke apart, breathless, his forehead rested against hers. "This is a terrible idea, I know. I'm your boss. This breaks every rule. I know that too. I could ruin your career, or you could save it. We won't know unless we try." He kissed her again, slower this time, like he was memorizing her. They made it back to the hotel, still tangled around each other. The elevator ride was torture. His room or hers felt like a decision that would change everything. "In my room," she whispered. "Give me this. Let me choose you." Something in his eyes broke open. "Are you sure?" "I've never been more sure of anything." They barely made it through her door. Hands and mouths in desperate need, peeling away layers of clothing and pretense until they were just skin and breath and 2 broken people finding something whole in each other after. Lying tangled in sheets with the ocean breathing through open windows. Devon traced patterns on her shoulder. "I'm falling for you," he said into the darkness. "It's not strategic or smart or professional. But it's true. I'm falling too. It terrifies me. We'll be terrified together." She fell asleep in his arms, safer than she'd felt in years. She woke alone. Gray dawn light filtered through curtains. Devon's side of the bed was cold. A note on the pillow read, "Had to handle something." Back before the conference, Trust me, she almost did. Then her phone buzzed. An email from an unknown sender. No message. Just an attachment photos. Devon with a woman. Intimate photos, the kind that told stories. Timestamps from 3 days ago. The day before they'd flown to Miami? Her hands shook. She enlarged one image. The woman was stunning, familiar, and then she saw the background. Devon's office. Another photo. The woman kissing him. His hands in her hair. The world tilted. A text followed. His CFO, the one who knows about Whitmore. Did you really think you were special? You're just another piece in his game. Olivia sat frozen, sheets still warm from his body, and felt her heart crack open. The door opened. Devon walked in carrying coffee and pastries, smiling until he saw her face. What's wrong? She held up her phone. His expression went blank, then destroyed. Olivia, I can explain. Can you? Because these photos are from 3 days ago. Before you brought me here. Before you kissed me and told me you were falling for me. It's not what it looks like. That's what they all say. She stood, pulling on clothes with shaking hands. He reached for her. She jerked away. Don't touch me. Please. Let me explain. Sarah and I, we had a history. But it's over. Those photos are staged. Someone's trying to drive us apart, or they're showing me the truth before I get in too deep. His face crumpled. You said you trusted me. I was wrong. She grabbed her bag, her keycard, everything that was hers. Tears blurred her vision, but she refused to let them fall. Olivia, don't do this. Don't let them win. Maybe they're not trying to win. Maybe they're trying to save me. She walked out. Behind her, she heard something shatter. Glass or hope, she couldn't tell. The conference hall was packed with industry leaders. Olivia delivered her presentation on autopilot, numb and professional, and dying inside. Devon sat in the back row, his eyes never leaving her face. When she finished to thunderous applause, she walked straight past him. He caught her arm in the hallway. We're not done. Yes, we are. You want the truth? Fine, Sarah Jennings is my CFO. We dated 5 years ago. It ended badly. She's been trying to get me back ever since. His voice was hard, urgent. Those photos are real. She kissed me. I pushed her away. You don't see that part, because whoever sent them to you edited it out. How convenient. Check the security footage from my office. Check my calendar. Check anything you want. I'm giving you access to everything. Why should I believe you? Because despite everything, despite every reason you have to walk away, you're still standing here arguing with me instead of on a plane home. Right. He was right. She hated that he was right. Show me the footage. He pulled out his phone, pulled up an app. Security camera view of his office. There was Sarah pulling him into a kiss. And there, 2 seconds later, was Devon pushing her away, stepping back. Shaking his head, the timestamp matched the photos. She staged it. Had someone photographed the kiss and cut out the rejection? His voice broke. I swear to you, Olivia. I swear on everything I have. There's no one else. There hasn't been anyone in years. Not until you. She wanted to believe him. Every fiber of her being screamed to believe him. Who's doing this? Who wants us apart badly enough to fabricate evidence? I don't know, but I'm going to find out. A voice behind them, cold and familiar. Maybe I can help with that. They turned. Sarah Jennings stood there, perfect in a power suit, her smile sharp as knives. Hello. Devon Olivia, having fun playing detective. Sarah's smile was poison wrapped in beauty. She moved closer, her heels clicking against marble like a countdown. You look surprised, Devon? Did you really think I'd just let you move on? You sent the photos? Olivia's voice was ice. You've been sending all the texts? Among other things. Sarah circled them like a predator. Did you enjoy my little performance? That kiss was quite convincing, even if our dear Devon did reject me. Again, Devon's hands clenched into fists. What do you want? What I've always wanted. You, the company. Everything your father promised me before he died and you stole it away. He didn't promise you anything, didn't he? Sarah pulled out her phone, tapped the screen. Listen carefully. A voice recording played. Devon's father, weak and rasping. Sarah runs the company when I'm gone. She knows where the bodies are buried. She keeps the Whitmore deal quiet. She gets 40% ownership in VP position. The recording stopped. Olivia watched Devon's face drain of color. It's impossible. He left everything to me. He left you the public company. The legitimate business? But Whitmore, that's mine. I've been managing it for 3 years. Every laundered dollar, every falsified report, every illegal transaction. Sarah's eyes glittered. I own your darkest secrets, Devon, and unless you give me what I'm owed, I expose everything. You destroy the company. It's destroy you. The company I'll rebuild from the ashes. She turned to Olivia. As for you, sweetheart, you're just collateral damage. Wrong place, wrong time, wrong man. Why me? Olivia asked. Why come after me specifically? Because he cares about you. I've watched him for months, cold and untouchable. Then you accidentally called him and something changed. He became human again. Sarah's voice turned vicious. I couldn't let that stand. You were supposed to quit. Instead, you made him weak. Devon stepped in front of Olivia. This is between us, Sarah. Leave her out of it. Too late. She knows about Whitmore now. She's a liability. Sarah's smile widened. Unless she helps me. Helps you how? Olivia's mind raced. Simple. You testified that Devon pressured you to falsify documents, that he coerced you into covering up his father's crimes. You take immunity, he takes the fall, and I take the company. I'd never do that. Not even to save your own career? Your reputation? Your freedom? Sarah pulled out a folder, handed it to Devon. These are documents with your signatures, Olivia. Authorizing questionable transfers. Approving shell company deals? All backdated to look like you were complicit from the start. Olivia's blood turned to ice. Those are forgeries. Prove it. You're a junior employee who suddenly got close to the CEO right when criminal activity ramped up. Who do you think they'll believe? Devon's hands shook as he looked through the folder. This is insane. You've been planning this for months. Years, actually. Since your father first got sick? Sarah checked her watch. You have until tomorrow morning. Sign the company over to me, or I go to the FBI with everything, including Miss Carter's involvement. She walked away, her perfume lingering like a threat. Olivia couldn't breathe. This can't be happening. Devon pulled her into a side room, empty and echoing. His eyes were wild. We have to run. Both of us. Disappear before she can execute this. Run where? She has documents, evidence. Even if we run, we're guilty. Then we fight. With what? She holds all the cards. He grabbed her shoulders. I won't let you go to prison for my father's crimes. I won't let her destroy you. You can't stop her. I can give her what she wants. The company. If she leaves you alone... Olivia's heart fractured. You'd sacrifice everything you've been trying to save. For you? Yes. His voice broke. Without question, Devon? No. It's the only way. She pulled back, mind spinning. What if it's not? What if there's something she doesn't know? What are you thinking? She said she's been managing Whitmore for 3 years. That means she's personally involved in every illegal transaction. If we can prove she wasn't just following orders, if we can show she initiated the crimes, she goes down too. The files are locked in the company's servers. We'd need to get back to New York, bypass security, and find evidence without her knowing. Then that's what we do. He cupped her face. She could destroy you anyway. Even if we win, your name is on those documents. You could lose everything. So could you. But together, maybe we lose less. You'd risk prison for me? You were willing to sacrifice your company for me? Turnabout is fair play. He kissed her, desperate and grateful and terrified. We need help, he said. Someone we can trust absolutely. Oh! Olivia thought of Rachel, her cynical, protective friend who'd warned her away from Devon. Right. I might know someone, but you have to be honest with me first. Completely honest. Is there anything else Sarah could use against us? Anything you haven't told me? Devon's face went gray. He stepped back. There's one more thing. Her stomach dropped. The last person who got close to me, who worked at the company, and started asking questions about my father's deals. He couldn't meet her eyes. Her name was Jennifer Torres. She disappeared 2 years ago. The police never found her. The room tilted. What are you saying? I'm saying my father had connections to dangerous people. And when Jennifer started digging into Whitmore, she vanished. No body, no evidence, nothing. Do you think he killed her? I don't know. But I know he was capable of it. Devon's voice was hollow. That's why I pushed people away, Olivia. That's why I wanted you to walk away. Anyone who gets too close to me ends up destroyed. She should have run. Should have grabbed her things and never looked back. Instead, she moved closer. Then we end this. We take down Sarah, expose everything, and free ourselves from your father's shadow once and for all. It might cost us everything. We already have nothing to lose. They flew back to New York that night. Red eye, turbulence, the plane shaking like their resolve. Devon held her hand the entire time. At his apartment, they planned. Olivia called Rachel, explained everything. Her friend's silence was deafening. You're insane, Rachel finally said. Both of you. Probably. Will you help? Another pause. What do you need? Access to legal databases. Ways to verify document forgeries. And maybe a place to hide if this goes sideways. You're really doing this? You're risking everything for him. Olivia looked at Devon across the room, exhausted and determined and trying so hard to be better than the legacy he'd inherited. He's worth it. I hope you're right. For both your sakes, they spent the night building a case. Devon's hands flew over his laptop, pulling files, cross-referencing dates, finding discrepancies in Sarah's story. Olivia worked beside him, two broken people trying to fix something massive. At dawn, Devon found it. A money transfer authorization in Sarah's handwriting, dated before his father got sick. Before she could claim she was following orders, she initiated Whitmore, not my father. He came in later, tried to shut it down, and she convinced him to keep it going. That's not enough. We need more. Then we go to the office. Break into her files. She'll be expecting that, I know. Devon's smile was grim. Which is why we're not going alone. He made a call. Spoke in low, urgent tones. Hung up. My lawyer is meeting us there. And I've called the FBI. If we're doing this, we're doing it right. They drove through empty Manhattan streets. The city felt like a held breath at the office. Sarah was waiting. She sat in Devon's chair, feet on his desk, triumph written across her face. You're early. I didn't expect you until 8. We're not here to negotiate, Devon said. Sarah stood, moved toward them. Then why are you here? Olivia pulled out a folder. The evidence they'd compiled to arrest you. FBI agents stepped from the shadows. So did Devon's lawyer. Sarah's face went white, then red with rage. You can't prove anything. We can prove you initiated the Whitmore scheme. We can prove you forged documents to frame Olivia. And we can prove you've been embezzling from the company for 3 years. Devon's voice was cold. Game over, Sarah. You have no idea what you've done. Sarah's composure cracked. Your father was planning to destroy the entire company. I saved it. I kept it running. You should be thanking me. For what? Blackmail? Fraud? Trying to frame an innocent woman. For keeping you alive? Sarah screamed. Your father's partners wanted you dead when he died. I brokered a deal to keep you safe. This was payment for your life, Devon, and you're throwing it away for her? The words hit like bullets. What partners? Devon's voice shook. The ones who funded Whitmore. The ones who don't like loose ends. The ones who made Jennifer disappear when she got too close. Olivia felt her world fracture. You killed Jennifer? I protected the company. She was going to expose everything. She left me no choice. There's always a choice, Devon said quietly. The FBI agent stepped forward. "Sarah Jennings, you're under arrest." As they led her away in handcuffs, Sarah looked back at Devon one last time. "You'll regret this. They'll come for you now. Both of you. Without me as a buffer, you're dead." The doors closed behind her. Silence fell. Devon turned to Olivia, his face ravaged. "I'm so sorry. For all of it. For dragging you into this nightmare. You didn't drag me. I chose to stay." "Why? After everything. Why?" "Because broken things recognize each other. Remember? And sometimes broken things can heal each other." He pulled her close, and she let him. Let herself feel safe for one moment before the next storm hit, because Sarah's last words echoed in the empty office. And Olivia knew with cold certainty that this wasn't over, not by a long shot. 3 days after Sarah's arrest, the threats began: text messages from unknown numbers, photographs of Devon's apartment, of Olivia leaving work, of both of them together, always with the same message: "You made a mistake." Devon hired security. Olivia moved into a hotel. They communicated through encrypted channels and lived like ghosts in their own city. "This is no way to exist," Olivia said one night. They sat in Devon's apartment, curtains drawn, the world reduced to shadows and fear. "It won't be forever. The FBI is building a case against my father's partners. Once they're arrested, we're free. And if they get to us first..." He had no answer for that. The next morning, Devon's lawyer called. His voice was urgent, strained. "We have a problem. Sarah's been released." "That's impossible," Devon said. She confessed. "Her lawyers found a technicality. Improper warrant. Everything we gathered is inadmissible. She walks free tomorrow." The phone slipped from Devon's hand. Olivia caught it, her mind racing. What does this mean? It means we're back where we started. Except now, she's angry. That night, Sarah called Devon directly. "Hello, darling. Miss me? What do you want? To make you an offer? One last chance at redemption." Her voice was honey and venom. "Sign the company over to me. Disappear with your little marketing girl. I'll tell my partners you're not a threat. You get to live." She gets to live. Everyone wins, except the hundreds of people who work for this company. They'll survive. Under new management, of course. But alive. Devon looked at Olivia. Saw his whole future in her eyes. A future they'd never have if he didn't end this. "I need time to think. You have 24 hours. After that, the offer expires. And so might you." The line went dead. Olivia moved to him, wrapped her arms around his waist. "We're not giving up. Not after everything." She's right, though. If we keep fighting, we die. If we run, we're always looking over our shoulders. There's no winning move, and we don't play her game. We play ours. "What do you mean?" Olivia pulled back, fire in her eyes. "We go public. Everything. Your father's crimes, Sarah's role, the partners who funded Whitmore. We burn it all down and let the world decide. It destroys the company. Destroys everything my father built. Your father built it on blood and lies. Maybe it deserves to burn." Devon stared at her. "You'd sacrifice your career, your reputation, everything, to stop them." "My career is already over the moment Sarah released those forged documents. My reputation is shot. I have nothing left to lose, Devon. But you do. You could still walk away. Sign over the company, disappear, start over somewhere else. Without you, without me." He cupped her face. "I told you once that you scared me. You know why? Because you make me want to be the man my father never was. You make me want to fight for something that matters instead of just surviving." He kissed her softly. "I'm not walking away. Not from you. Not from this fight. Then we do this together." They spent the night compiling everything. Every document, every email, every piece of evidence they'd gathered. At dawn, they sent it to every major news outlet. The FBI, the SEC, posted it publicly online. The story exploded. By noon, every network was covering it. By evening, federal agents raided Sarah's home. Devon's office, and arrested 3 of his father's former partners. Sarah appeared on the evening news, her carefully constructed image crumbling as reporters shouted questions. Did you kill Jennifer Torres? Were you embezzling company funds? Is it true you tried to frame Olivia Carter? She had no answers. Only fury. Devon and Olivia watched from Rachel's apartment where they'd been hiding. It's done, Devon said quietly. The company is finished. Everything I tried to save is gone. We're alive. And free are we? He turned to her. Sarah's partners are in custody, but there are always more. Always someone else in the shadows. Rachel appeared with coffee, her expression grim. You two made the national news. You're either heroes or villains, depending on which channel you watch. What do you think we are? Olivia asked. Survivors? Reckless, insane survivors who somehow didn't die doing the stupidest thing possible. That's fair, Devon said. A knock at the door froze them all. Rachel checked the peephole, her face going white. It's FBI, and they want to talk to both of you. The agent was professional, efficient, and surprisingly kind. She sat across from them in Rachel's living room and laid out their options. Sarah Jennings has agreed to testify against her partners in exchange for a reduced sentence. The company is being dissolved. Assets will be liquidated to pay back victims of the fraud. You're not being charged with any crimes. Your cooperation has been noted. And Olivia, the forged documents have been proven false. She's clear. Relief flooded through them like a wave. However, the agent continued, you're both going to need to testify. Multiple times. This case will take years to fully resolve, you understand, Olivia said. After the agent left, silence fell. Years, Devon said. Years of trials and testimony and reliving all of this. We'll get through it. How can you be so sure? Because I've survived worse. And so have you. Took his hand. We're not broken things trying to fix each other anymore, Devon. We're people choosing each other despite the damage. He pulled her close. I love you. I don't know if I've earned the right to say that, but it's true. You love me? Her voice cracked. Completely. Terrifyingly. Irrevocably. Tears slid down her cheeks. I love you too. Even though you're the worst decision I ever made, he laughed. The sound broken and beautiful. We're quite a pair. The worst. They kissed, and it tasted like endings and beginnings and survival. 6 months later, the first trial concluded. Sarah received 15 years. Her partners got longer sentences. The company that Devon's father built ceased to exist. Devon started over. A small consulting firm helping other companies clean up ethical messes. It wasn't glamorous, but it was honest. Olivia joined him. Partners in business and life, building something new from the ashes of everything they'd lost. They moved to a smaller city. Bought a house with a garden. Learned how to be normal people with normal problems. On a quiet evening, sitting on their porch watching the sunset, Olivia leaned into Devon's shoulder. Do you ever regret it? The phone call that started all of this? He considered. I regret that you got hurt. That you almost went to prison because of me. That you lost your career and had to rebuild from nothing. He turned to her. But regret loving you? Regret fighting beside you? Never. Even though we lost everything. We didn't lose everything. We lost the things that were killing us. The company. The secrets. The fear. He kissed her temple. We kept each other. That's enough, is it though? Really enough? Ask me in 50 years. If I still get to wake up next to you, then yes, it's more than enough. She smiled against his shoulder, breathing in the evening air and the peace they'd fought so hard to earn. They weren't perfect. They carried scars that would never fully heal. But they were alive and free and building something that belonged only to them. In the distance, a phone rang. For a moment, fear flickered between them. Then Devon checked the caller ID and laughed. It's Rachel. She wants to know if we're coming to her wedding. Tell her yes. Tell her we wouldn't miss it. He answered the phone, his voice warm and certain. No longer the cold CEO who'd answered Olivia's accidental call a year ago. She watched him talk, animated and alive, and felt something settle in her chest. Love wasn't supposed to be this complicated. Wasn't supposed to cost this much. But maybe the things worth keeping never came easy. Maybe broken things really could heal each other. Maybe survival was its own kind of victory. Devon hung up. Caught her watching him. What? Nothing. Just thinking about that night in the parking garage. How one wrong number changed everything.
Oh.
Best mistake you ever made? The absolute worst. She grinned. And I'd make it again without hesitation. He pulled her into his arms as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of fire and gold. Two people who'd lost everything and found something better in the ruins. They stayed there until stars emerged. Tiny lights in the darkness, reminding them that even in the deepest night, something always remains to guide you home. The end.